going on, guys? Brandon from NCL Vapor. Today we're here to talk to you about the Russian 91%. It is a Kayfun light clone. Most people already know there was the Kayfun 3.1, then they made the Russian, which cloned that, and then the Kayfun light, and then the Russian 91%. And basically what happened was they decided to keep the airflow control on the Russian 91% as compared to the Kayfun light, where it does not. They both still can be filled from outside of the tank, but they're both from this fill screw below it. So this is a silica-based RBA, and this one, the Russian, is made out of 304 grade stainless steel. I'm not sure what the Kayfun light is made of, or the 3.1. I looked at a couple sites, I didn't see it. So from my experience so far, which I've had this for about a week, and this is my favorite RBA out there. Most consistent, easy to deal with, no leaking. I can put it in my pocket, on my chair, like I can't do with my dripping atomizers, and I'm not going to have a problem. My vape's going to be the same no matter what, and it is super easy to build. There are a lot of parts to it, which you'll see in the up close, but besides that, it's been great. One thing I would have to say, I mean, it's got to be coming from the fill screw, but you can see the juice collection right there, and also you can see the shine from where it is on this part, and I'm guessing that's coming from the fill screw. Oh, and the Kayfun light has made in Germany and stuff on the bottom, and this does not. This is made in I think it's Russia, which would make sense since it's called the Russian. Anyway, so I was gonna get the Kayfun light, and I wanted the option for airflow control, so I got the Russian. A little cheaper in quality, I wouldn't say. They've said that the materials used in the Russian are not as great as the Kayfun, but nothing you're going to really tell from my experience. I went to a shop and I tried out the Kayfun, and I took a draw on it. It was just too tight. I tried my own drip tip on it, still too tight, so I got this one. And I don't even have the airflow control screw in there, and I just take it all the way out because I want as much airflow as I can. I'm used to a wide open draw, so it's still a little tight for my liking, but that's because I got so used to using my Omega RDA with the 3mm air hole. So it's actually become quite nice of an airflow for me. I've learned to enjoy it. I'm not blowing 8-foot clouds, but no one needs to be blowing that much smoke or vapor. Somebody put a message on one of my other reviews saying to stop saying that I'm smoking. I know. I'm trying not to say it. And then I try to figure out, you know, what is the definition of smoking. I mean, technically it's both. You're heating up the liquid, you're heating up the tobacco. It is considered smoking, whether I'm smoking a different product. I don't know. But I am trying to say vaping more. I don't know, saying the word smoke is a habit, and it's kind of a hard one to get away of. So I'm sorry for anybody that has a problem with me saying, what am I smoking? What am I smoking out of? Sorry. What can I say? Anyway, so I have my own drip tip on here. The Russian comes with a bunch of stuff, and let me show you that stuff. So it comes with this little bottle with a blunt tip syringe, so you can fill easily and carry maybe a smaller bottle with you. It comes with this beautiful little box. It says Russian 91% on it. Just like that. This box opens up. It's not magnetized. Oh yeah, you know what? It is magnetized. Look at that, staying closed. It opens up, and you get your stainless steel tank and your Pyrex tank that I'm using. A little screwdriver, keychain. That's kind of nice. I actually usually have this on my keychain because I'm always messing around. Comes with some wire. What gauge this wire is, I would say, I don't know, 30. Some silica, quite a bit actually. I'm pretty impressed. They come with enough materials to make quite a few builds. Then you've got the regular drip tip, that actually comes on it. Too tight for me. I might drill that out if I ever want to use this, but it's kind of long, so I don't know if I'll do that either. A goodie bag with some extra screws and a bunch of O-rings. All sorts of different O-rings and screws. Some of them I don't even know what they're for. So, and that's the inside. So that'll all come underneath that, and it'll be kind of assembled in here with the box. So that's nice. They do give you ample amount of supplies to create your build with really no tools at all. So you could pull, if you were to stop at the mailbox and build this in your car after getting it out of the mailbox, you would be able to do this with a bottle of juice and everything in the box. And everything in the box. My SD card ran out of space, which is why there's this transition to where I am at now. Anyway, I need to get a better one of those. The one in here is only a 4 gig. I had a 64 gigabyte one. I can't find it. So, anyway, I'm gonna take a vape and show you guys how this performs. Now this is you'll see it in the build. It's like a 1 ohm coil, 1.9 or something like that. I'm smoking, it's a 60-40 blend, El Camino. It's all I really smoke now. Love that juice. Love it. I know what it tastes like in several different things, drippers, PB Novas, so I've used it in a lot of different things, so I like to use it because I can compare the flavor. It works for me. So it's not an extreme amount of vapor, but it is, you can't complain about it at all. It's great, and I'm getting the throat hit. If it was, for me, I usually would probably wrap a 0.7, 0.8 ohm coil. That's where my sweet spot is. I wrapped this one for the Pravari, and so here's my last issue that I have with this, except for the finish. I'm not too fond of the finish, but let me show you. There is another. I have a battery in here. Okay, you can see it. It's flashing. I have this center pin about flush. All right, whatever. So I have it about flush, and as you'll see in the build, I'm not sure if anyway, this holds together the whole building area. There's a piece of metal that is held there by this. That's what tightens it all on. Now, the Pravari isn't necessarily a deep 510 connection, but it is deep enough for this not to want to make connection. If I put the Russian on my Kayfun, it is now flush. Nothing. No connection. I can show you on the Addy check, it's going to say open post. Now, could I get it to connect? Yes, I can. I could move that post back until I get a little bit of resistance and make it so it can make connection, and yes, it does work. I've done it. Am I going to do it? No. I use it on a mod like a Nemesis because I can adjust my center pin on the mod. The reason I do that is because if you loosen this center post up too much, you will lose. Sometimes that metal piece gets loose, and if you mess with it while you're building it, you'll see what I'm talking about. It just gets really loose. And so say you put it on an atomizer checker, your little box, and you screw it on there, and it's not getting, it just says 1 because it's not reading the resistance. And then you loosen that so you can get, a longer post so that you can connect it to check the resistance, and you'll see that it might fluctuate. You'll see the resistance jump up and down because you've now created a loose positive connection. I don't like that at all. I would like to be able, this center pin, it's a great design, but the center pin, I should be able to take that center pin out as far as it'll go to make connection with whatever device I have without having to have an issue with my build. And so once it's built, you're not gonna tell. I mean, somebody that did not know that, they're just gonna, unscrew it, and okay, cool, I'm making a connection. They put it on their mod, it's vaping, and then, you know, they're just going to be content, but they might also feel like their vape is changing based on maybe how they shake the mod, or what position they're vaping it in, because I have noticed that to where if I hit it like this, or maybe I'm moving around and then I take another vape, it's a little bit different of a vape because my resistance level changed, and I don't like that. I don't know if anybody else had this issue. If there's a way to fix it, let me know. Post it down in the comments. I'd love to know. From what I found, that I just tighten it up and then slowly back it out till I'm getting connection. Luckily, actually, I just slowly back it out till it's right about flush, and then I move my center pin into the mod. And so that's working for me. Oh, by the way, that juice collection I talked about, it never comes dripping down the mod. It's not enough to worry about on that. I just notice it when I take my device off the mod. Alright, so there's not much else to say about the Russian. It is a great RBA. Where did I get this one? I bought this one for $90 from Vape on La Habra, and I'll put that right up here. There's a guy named Chester there. I talked to him. I've been talking to him still consistently on Facebook. I've called him on the phone. They're great guys, great customer service. I called him. I was looking up on the forums. I was like, hey, I want to buy this, and so he sent me a message and said, hey, I got one for $90, and I was like, oh, awesome, great. So I purchased this from him. He had it to me in 2 days. He paid for the shipping. It was free shipping, and their store they continue to help me with what I need and what I'm looking for, and they're just really nice. So I got that from them, great customer service, and I look forward to doing more business with them. So I'm going to go into the up close, show you how to take this apart, put it together, how I build it, and that's going to really conclude this review. I recommend this to anybody that is trying to get into and maybe an easier form factor RBA. It is large, it holds a lot of juice, but it is very easy to build, and you don't need a bunch of tools like maybe if you had an Ithaca or Ithaca, however you pronounce it. You don't got to use ready wires or anything like that. So it's very simple to build for a consistent vape, and I've loved it the whole time. Anytime I go anywhere, I bring this. This is my mobile device. I used to carry my drip around with me, and now this is my go-to right here. Alright, I'm going to shoot down into the up close. Alright guys, here's the up close to the Russian 91%. As you can see, it is a clone of the Kayfun Light. For all you just watching this to see if all the pieces are identical to the Kayfun Light, since this is the Russian 91%, there is a minor change. But all of the other pieces are interchangeable with the Kayfun Light. I do not have a Kayfun Light here, but anyway, here we go. Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces. One not used, actually 2 of them not used, because you've got 2 different tanks. You got your stainless steel tank and your plastic one. Alright, so here's the base. Alright. You got your positive and negative going right there. This thing can actually move around like so. It's held in by this right here. So it is adjustable. I wouldn't adjust it. I keep it tight until after I'm done building it. And if you need to adjust your post for your device, do that after it's all put together. And I'm missing my fill screw. There it is. Alright, so how do I put this together? So it's a ton of pieces, as you can see. So first I'm just going to show you how to put it together. You've got your chimney, after your coil will be put on, obviously. Now, what I have noticed is it likes to go on one way. I don't know why. I don't know if everyone has this issue. But see, now that way it wants to go on. Alright, so chimney top, or whatever that you want to call that. You want this on pretty tight when you do it. Alright, and then you'd use your bottom section of your tank. Just like that. And then you'd put your middle section of the tank on. Then this section, your last section of the tank. Alright. and then you would put this on. Now when you do this, you would always want to make sure this O-ring right here is sitting in there before you do it. Make sure that's seated in there nicely. Alright, and then you would put this on there, like so. And then you have your choice of the drip tip, which is a little different in finish. I'm polishing it. I'm going to end up polishing the whole thing. I think it'll come out nicely when I'm done. So you put it on there like this. And bam, there's your whole Russian 91% unit put together. Alright, I'm going to break this back down and show you, and just build it for you real quick. Alright guys, so here we go. We're going to mount a coil on the Russian 91%. And I have already put together a micro coil. That's weird. Oh, look at that, it focuses without my hand. Anyway, micro coil, 28 gauge Canthal, around a 5/64 drill bit, or aka this screw. Alright, now, if you notice my coil, okay, there's a couple ways to do the Kayfun, or Russian. If you notice my coil, I have those leads coming out. See how these leads are coming out like that? And I did that because I am going to have this positioned on here, like so. I'm sorry, like so, and there you go, that's how the wires are going to get there. Or, you could have done it where they're coming out, the wires are both coming out on the same side of the coil, where you would position it like this, and then you would move your coil above the air hole. I'm going to do it like this. It seems easier. You can get it right next to the air hole. Just depends on how you like it. Alright, so let's zoom in here. See if I can catch this on. Now, another good reason why I like doing it this way is because if you have it on a drill bit or a little screwdriver, and by the way, if you do make sure you have a second screwdriver so you can do this if you're using your other one. Alright, is because you can position it. Look at that, bam. See that? So I set it down and then move the coil. Now they're both underneath the wires. Alright, so what I can do is now I have counter pressure going on. I have counter pressure going on these, so they are both being positioned. Make sure you use your screwdriver, make sure you get that coil right where you want it. There's not going to be too much adjusting once you get these screwed down. That looks just about perfect to me. And now that I've got that positioned, snug it. Man. Alright, check that out. Now obviously that is not how I want it perfect. It's not perfect yet, but it is beautiful. Beautifully set up. And now I'm just going to put this back in there and lift it up a little bit, because you don't want it sitting on there. Alright, so I don't want to go off camera. I'm trying. Believe me. So boom. Now that it's tightened under those screws, just did that. Just put some pressure on it. And now look at that. Perfect. Going to screws right above the air hole. There you go. Okay. So we're going to use cotton. Obviously we want to trim these leads. Now if you want, you can do a final test. Make sure these are tight. Now once you position that, it's not going to move. One thing I do like about the Kayfun, or these screws on the Russian, is when you tighten this, your wire just gets grabbed and it doesn't just pop out like some mods. So I use fingernail clippers, or you can just do this. To be honest, this might actually be a better option to do it like this, because it breaks the wire off right at the screw, and by doing that you're saving yourself the issue of the end of that wire being affected by the chimney when it goes down. Sometimes if you use anything else or just clip them, you'll leave too much of an excess and it'll grab that. So that's really, you can see that is, can't even see one there, you could barely see it there. So that's going to work out quite well. And it's actually easier for me to see that that it's not touching on the camera than it is in person. That's how small this is. Anyway. Alright, so I've got a cotton ball all undone. Okay. Oh, look at that, piece just fell off. Looks like I'm going to use this. Okay. Doo-doo. That looks like a good piece right there. I don't need it that long, but... So I'm just kind of fluffing it, trying to get it all, make sure it's going to stay together, and bam, twist it aside, stick it through, and then pull it, and it was coming down pretty good. There we go. We obviously don't need that much cotton in here. Alright. Now you could use fingernail clippers. I find, sorry I walked away for a minute, I find that fingernail clippers and cotton are not very fun. It's actually quite annoying. So I like scissors. Now I'm not leaving these long. Bam, that's about it. Now if you notice that the canals are right below it. So, and it's cotton. Cotton absorbs a lot of liquid. That's going to fall just like that. I'm going to be honest with you, this is my first build. Now this isn't going to go all the way down to the bottom there. It needs to stay above, like up here, because that chimney screws on here. It screws on right there. So, I might even cut a little more off. Yep, I'm going to. To be honest, this is the first time I've done the coil like this. I normally have it positioned the other way. And that would make it so I'd get like an S formation going in there when I'm done, but this will work too. Alright, so I'm just going to fluff these up, bring them up, wet your fingers a little bit, it's cotton. Alright, let's get my chimney here. I don't want this to get caught on the chimney. Alright, just twisting it. My mistake. You don't need that on there when you do this, and you don't want it on there. To be honest, I leave it on there because for some reason one side of this chimney, if I don't have this on there, they look the same. So if I would have flipped this part over and put it down, it doesn't work. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you. I thought it would be the same, but it's not. Alright, so let's zoom in here. I've got my cotton. That's not focusing now, is it? And I'm not gonna stuff it. I just want it set in there. I just want it below the coil. Really. Just like that. That'll do. Just like that. Just sitting in there. You can get it all nice and pretty if you want, but it's cotton. You know what cotton does? Cotton wicks. It wicks all day. Now I'm going to put some juice on it. It's cotton, so I'm really soaking it. I don't want there to be any issues I don't like dry burn. You don't want dry burn. And dry burn and cotton suck. Alright, so now I've got it all nice and moist. Let's see if this is going to tell me the resistance. Oh, look at that, it did. 1.9. Not bad. I'm going to put it on a Pravari, so I'm not really caring about that at the moment. I normally have it on a mech mod, but some reason lately I've decided to go back to my first mod. It's torn up. You start using the Pravari. Anyway, so we got the top of the chimney on. Okay, now we're going to use the tank section, which I already have assembled, 3 pieces, just like so. There you go. And of course the top piece with the O-ring already placed in there to get a good seal on this chimney. And we'll put that there, just like that. Alright. And what's the final touch? Drip tip. Bam, fully assembled Kayfun. And now we will go to, I've already taken the screw out, filling this. Okay. Moving it up. By the way, I'll get into that later. Or I guess I already did get into it, since you already watched this video. Alright, so this screw goes in here. Now, you're supposed to you could use a syringe, you could use a bottle of your choice. Me, Good Life Vapor, El Camino. The tips are pretty narrow, and honestly, it just fits right in there. And I just push. Do 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 do. Bam. Is it full all the way? Probably not. I don't really want it full all the way right now, though. Good enough for my intentions today, since I won't be using this tomorrow. Perfect. Alright, the Russian with juice in it. Cotton microcoil 5 wraps, 28 gauge. And see you in a sec.